Multiplayer games may be more popular among gamers, but there are still times when we all crave a good single-player experience. Adding some RPG flavor to it can make for an immersive experience that can pull you into its world with greater-than-life story. After scouring the internet for the most hotly anticipated single-player RPGs, we've compiled a list of the 10 most promising titles. Whether you're looking for an immersive story-driven experience or an expansive world to get lost in, these games have something for everyone. So clear your schedule and settle in for some long-awaited gaming fun. Starting off with number 10, we have Forspoken, an action RPG set in a high fantasy world that follows the journey of Frey, a young New Yorker who is mysteriously transported to the fantastic land of Athia. Searching for a way home, she found herself wearing a magical golden bracelet and discovers that she can cast powerful spells and use magic to swiftly traverse huge landscapes. On her journey, she has the opportunity to help the people of Athia free themselves from the evil sorceresses who rule the world. Forspoken plays like a traditional action RPG. You'll gain experience and level up your abilities by killing enemies and completing various quests. Mana is a resource that lets you unlock new spells, which you can collect in the glowing mana pools in Athia or earn by leveling up. The game features a unique fast-paced combat system that looks really cool, and the most important detail is that there is no melee combat at all. You'll have to combine attack and support magic to kill enemies, create traps, charge area of effect attacks, heal yourself, and much more. All over Athia, you'll discover and loot treasure chests that contain a variety of rewards, such as stat increases, additional experience points, new equipment with interesting effects, and even crafting items used for customizing cloaks and necklaces with powerful magical effects. The traversal mechanic in Forspoken is smooth and fluid, allowing you to move quickly through the large world. You'll be able to use your mobility and glide over water, or use magically enhanced parkour skills to get to hard-to-reach places. Forspoken's combat and movement mechanics are excellent and definitely the game's strongest features, but the same cannot be said about the lackluster facial animations and voice acting. Forspoken has the potential to be a great game. We will see if it lives up to the hype when it releases on January 24, 2023 for Windows PC and PlayStation 5. Unfortunately, it will not be available for other consoles until 2025. If you are interested in seeing what Forspoken has to offer in detail, check out our in-depth preview by clicking on the link provided in the description. Next at number 9, there is Hogwarts Legacy, which looks like what fans have always expected a Harry Potter game to look like. It's an addictive open-world action RPG set in the world of the finest school of witchcraft and wizardry, the mysterious Hogwarts itself. The game puts you in the 5th year of school as one of the 4 houses of Hogwarts. You'll attend different classes that will cover various subjects of magic and natural matters that every wizard should master before graduating. Players will have access to a number of upgrades, talents, and skills to support their development as a witch or wizard. Combat will utilize mixing and matching dozens of spells that can be chained into powerful combos. Some students at Hogwarts will share their stories and become friends. As the players develop these relationships, these schoolmates will become companions that can accompany them and expand their abilities. Beyond the castle walls, you'll find a sprawling world full of activities and wonders. To traverse these vast areas, players can tame, mount, and ride some magical beasts, or even hop on a flying broom to participate in broom race challenges. The game even features a light-based building system in the form of the Room of Requirement. It offers us the possibility of sowing and harvesting plants, brewing potions, and upgrading our equipment. Other notable features include a dynamic climate system, an incredibly detailed and huge castle, common rooms unique to each of the 4 houses, and optional access to powerful dark magic. Hogwarts Legacy perfectly captures the fantastic world of Harry Potter, and we look forward to its release on February 10, 2023, when it will be available for Windows PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and Series X and S, with a Nintendo Switch release sometime after. Make sure to check our extended preview link down below. Moving on to number 8, we have Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, a turn-based CRPG developed by Owlcat Games, the creators of the popular Pathfinder RPG. Rogue Trader is a loose adaptation of the tabletop game of the same name, and the first CRPG set in the gritty Warhammer 40k universe of the future. You play as a rogue trader, a descendant of a powerful merchant family who's tasked with exploring space and expanding the power of the Empire. Your adventure begins in the vast Coronis Expanse, a treacherous region of unexplored space on the edge of humanity's domain. You'll use a gigantic spaceship to explore, plunder, and claim mysterious lost and forgotten worlds, all in the name of your merchant empire. Fans of the Pathfinder series should have an idea of what to expect here. Non-linear stories, strong and diverse party members, memorable environments, decisions that have a lasting effect on the story, complex game mechanics, and much more. However, instead of the combination of real-time with pause and turn-based system, Rogue Trader will only have turn-based combat. This will give the developers more room to showcase all the characters and their special abilities. Other features include extensive character creation options that will let you create unique characters that fit your playstyle, classic RPG classes with a 40k twist giving you a new take on the standard RPG experience, and deep personal interaction between companions that can lead to romance. Rogue Trader was first announced in June 2022. Considering that the developer has a track record of releasing games about a year after their announcement, we can most likely expect the release on the Windows PC platform by the end of 2023 at the latest. Interestingly enough, Owlcat Games still hasn't clearly commented on possible console releases. At number 7, we have Dragon Age Dreadwolf, formerly known as Dragon Age 4. The Dragon Age series has always been known for its storytelling and character development. Players are placed in a living magical world where they, along with their companions, play a key role in an epic story. The main focus is on the decisions we make and how they affect the entire game, all the way to the end. This narrative experience is what makes BioWare role-playing games so special and unforgettable. Dragon Age Dreadwolf is set in the notorious Tevinter Imperium, the largest human nation in Thedas. If you do not know the Dragon Age series yet, Thedas is the only known continent in this universe where all Dragon Age games are set. We will see the return of Solas the Dreadwolf, our companion from the previous game. This time, however, he'll be the main antagonist and a pivotal character that brews a dark and dangerous scheme. Varric, a dwarven companion from the previous games, also returns, and although we might be wrong, this time he will not join our group, but will play a greater role in the following events. The teaser gives a brief glimpse of Minrathous, the Tevinter capital, as well as a shot of the city of Antiva, the capital of the neighboring territory. If we are right, Dragon Age Dreadwolf will be the biggest Dragon Age game so far. It will be intriguing to see how BioWare progresses from here. Considering that the development of Dreadwolf started back in 2018, the expectations are quite high, especially after the big success of Dragon Age Inquisition. The land of Tevinter is one of the most important locations in the Dragon Age canon, and has been teased time and again in previous Dragon Age games, so it's understandable why the most loyal fans are so eager to set foot in it. Dragon Age Dreadwolf has still a long way to go. The release date and availability of the platforms are yet to be announced. Next at number 6, we have Diablo IV, a hack-and-slash action RPG set many years after the events of Diablo III. The story follows the return of Lilith, a daughter of Mephisto, as she is summoned back in a ritual to wreak havoc in the world of Sanctuary. As one would expect, this will be the largest and most visually impressive Diablo game. Modern graphics paint a dark, grim atmosphere that takes us back to the roots of the series. The beautifully rendered environments have a lot of depth and verticality, topped off with a full day and night cycles and dynamic weather effects. Diablo IV has an open-world structure with 5 unique regions, each divided into multiple zones. These zones have their own level requirements and separate progression system based on renown. Players can use mounts to traverse these vast landscapes, where they'll encounter many public events, world bosses, and even gather various resources, such as herbs and ore, used for crafting. Apart from the beautiful graphics and huge maps, the game features a very clean UI, deep loot system, robust character customization, and an immense number of dungeons. At launch, there will be 5 familiar classes: Barbarian, Druid, Necromancer, Rogue, and Sorcerer. The skill tree has been extensively reworked and is now very similar to the one in Path of Exile. Skill points are spent in the branches and passive points in the roots. Once the main story elements are completed, towns become social hubs for players, providing a place to relax and even trade with each other, adding another level of social interaction. Some areas will be designated as PvP zones, where players can fight each other if they wish. And even though the game has all these shared world elements, it will not function as traditional MMO. Now that Diablo Immortal has introduced its predatory monetization system, players are rightfully concerned about what to expect in Diablo IV. As it stands, the in-game shop will continue to exist, but only for cosmetic items and seasonal passes, similar to Diablo III. Blizzard assured that all sources of character power will come from within the game, and no one will be able to take a shortcut by paying for it. Although the exact release date is unknown, Diablo IV is still on its way for the 2023 release. It will be available for Windows PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as Xbox One and Series X and S. Before we continue, if you like this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and enable all notifications by clicking the notification bell icon. Moving on to number 5, we have Piece Odyssey, a turn-based JRPG set in the world of One Piece, one of the best Japanese manga series of all time. The story follows Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates, who are shipwrecked on a mysterious island and separated from each other. At the beginning of their adventure, Luffy decides to explore the island and gather his scattered crew members. They find 2 strange human inhabitants, and soon after, the Straw Hat crew loses its powers, after which they all set out to recover them and discover the secrets of this mysterious place. This story is exclusive to the game and lays the foundation for a modern JRPG approach worthy of the rich world of One Piece. The turn-based combat system offers an interesting mix of crew special attacks, while allowing you to move through the battle at your own pace. The developers have made sure that these abilities are accompanied by fantastic, over-the-top animations and effects. Characters gain experience and level up together, even when not in combat. The gameplay demo didn't include character customization options, but this functionality will be present in the full game. While exploring, each member of the Straw Hat crew brings something unique to the table. You'll be able to freely switch between different characters and use their individual exploration abilities, such as Luffy's Gum Gum Slingshot Traversal or Zoro's ability to cut down barriers. It's worth noting that the gameplay and overall presentation are very similar to Dragon Quest XI, which isn't surprising considering that both games come from the same developer. The world of One Piece Odyssey is full of secrets, challenges, and dungeons for players to face. It is still unclear, however, if the game will be a true open-world experience. The demo shown earlier this year was quite linear, so we'll have to wait and see what the final product looks like. One Piece Odyssey will be released on January 13, 2023 for Windows PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Next at number 4, there is Baldur's Gate 3, the next-generation RPG set in the Forgotten Realms of Dungeons & Dragons. The game is being developed by Larian Studios, and it's currently in early access. If you have ever wondered what D&D actually feels like, what kind of experience you can have with it, or what D&D even is, Baldur's Gate 3 can give you a pretty good insight into this unique world that is gaining popularity every day. So if you do not have access to real Dungeons & Dragons sessions, or your friends are not interested in joining in for whatever reason, Larian Studios removes these barriers to entry with this title, and allows everyone to experience this modernized version of the 5th edition D&D rule set. We appreciate the intuitive design of the automatic skill and ability checks, which are non-intrusive and allow the player to focus on important decisions. You control a group of 4 heroes, each with their own background and motivations. Being a more traditional RPG, there are many races and classes to choose from. Larian stated that in the full version we will be able to play as any class from the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rule set. Exploring this beautiful and detailed world is done in real time, but once a combat encounter starts, the turn-based system kicks in, giving you time to plan your approach. We welcome the convenient fast travel system and a handy rest mechanic, since these prevent boring gameplay and allow some interesting character interactions during intermissions. The outstanding feature of Baldur's Gate 3 is the freedom of choice. You will need multiple playthroughs to experience all the encounters and conversations between characters, or to solve the same problem in multiple ways, leading to a different result each time. The decisions you make will have serious consequences as the story progresses. We will not go into story details to avoid possible spoilers. However, we can say that it is decently written and compelling enough to easily immerse yourself in an epic adventure. So far, we only have access to the first act of the story, which contains well over 20 hours of content. With 2 more acts planned for the full version, we can expect around 60+ hours of gameplay, depending on how many battles you fight and how much you explore. In addition to everything mentioned, the intuitive user interface, online multiplayer for up to 4 players, and the sheer amount of D&D content are proof that Baldur's Gate 3 will be a great milestone for the RPG genre once it is released. After over 2 years in early access, Larian Studios has shown that they value quality over speed. The full game will be released for Windows PC, with an expected release date sometime in 2023. Next up at number 3 is the new Mass Effect game, a sequel to arguably the best sci-fi RPG series of all time. Back in December 2020, BioWare released a teaser trailer. This trailer and a poster that was revealed as part of N7 Day in 2021 hold some hints about the sequel. Gary McKay, general manager of BioWare, revealed that the poster contains at least 5 surprises, all of which point to an amazing future in the Mass Effect universe. In the image, we see a ship and a crew of 4 approaching a crater that resembles a Geth helmet. In front of them lies the corpse of a dead Geth, which could indicate the return of this synthetic alien civilization that was both friend and foe in the trilogy. However, the most interesting surprise is the body lying very close to the crater. If this crater is a destroyed mass relay, a body lying there could be the catalyst that will propel new story forward. Based on these few clues we have available at the moment, we can only speculate that the new game will continue the story of the original trilogy. It is unclear at this time whether or not the events depicted in Mass Effect Andromeda will be connected in any way. Judging by the short teaser, it's very likely that the Reapers will make a comeback in some form, as will Liara, our Asari companion from the previous games. Although the release of the new Mass Effect is still some time away, BioWare has recently increased its team with more passionate individuals who are committed to making sure the game is of the highest quality. Even though passion is no guarantee of success, the developers are taking their time to create a hopefully unforgettable experience. Jumping to number 2, we have Starfield, a first new IP from Bethesda in 25 years. You can check our first impressions in a detailed breakdown video. Starfield is an epic single-player role-playing game set in space in the year 2330. The story revolves around the player joining an organization called Constellation on a quest to find strange artifacts scattered throughout the galaxy. These artifacts are the key to solving a mystery that will change humanity forever. The world of Starfield consists of over 100 star systems with more than 1,000 planets. While some key locations such as the 4 major cities have been handcrafted and tailored for the best single-player experience, Bethesda used advanced procedural generation in other areas. To visit all these places, you'll have access to multiple fully customizable spaceships suitable for interstellar jumps. Bear in mind that you won't be able to use them to seamlessly travel from space to the planet's surface and vice versa. Instead, a shortcut scene will appear during the automatic landing and takeoff sequences. The game boasts detailed character customization with deep RPG elements, such as skills with different ranks and additional traits based on your character's background. Big emphasis has been put on character interaction. Starfield has the most lines of dialogue compared to any previous Bethesda game. There are over 250,000 recorded voiced lines that will reflect your character's build. Bethesda has brought back a speech persuasion system where you can spend points to persuade someone in a limited number of turns with varying levels of difficulty. This system feels very natural and it will offer some interesting gameplay mechanics. Other key features such as resource gathering and crafting, base building, ship hijacking, and full mod support are all included in this epic space saga, which is scheduled for release in 2023 for Xbox and PC. And finally, at number 1, we have Final Fantasy XVI, a long-awaited sequel to the popular franchise set in the fantastic land of Valistia. The world of Valistia is divided into 6 realms and strongly resembles medieval Europe. This classic fantasy look brings the series closer to its roots. The main storyline revolves around the turmoil between these realms, caused by the spread of the Blight and the waning of the Mother Crystals, which were once sources of great powers that allowed a prosperous life in the past. To regain power, some realms are reaching out to dominants, humans who can physically transform into icons, the powerful titans who are essentially summons from previous Final Fantasy games. The multi-stage battles between the icons will make for some of the most epic moments the gaming industry has seen so far. Players control Clive Rosefield, a dominant of the Dark Icon Ifrit. We follow him from his teens to his 30s as he makes his way through these complicated times. Along his journey, one or more AI companions will join the party, bringing help and their own story arcs. Final Fantasy XVI is not a true open-world experience, but will take a rather linear course, with only a few branching paths of the story that will unfold over many independent areas. Players can expect to be fully immersed in a high-quality fantasy setting, filled with fast-paced, real-time combat. Final Fantasy XVI will be released sometime in the summer of 2023 as a PlayStation 5 exclusive title. Considering Sony's strategy of not releasing single-player exclusives for Windows PC for at least a year after the official launch, it is unlikely that the PC version will be released before the summer of 2024 at the earliest. So which of these games are you most looking forward to? Let us know down in the comments below. Consider hitting the like button if you found this video helpful, or subscribing if you're new to the channel. Many thanks for watching, and until next time, have a ton of fun.